In section 6.4, we continue solving percent problems, but this time we are using proportions. So that is the objective of 6.4a, where we translate percent problems to proportions. And then in B, the B part is to solve basic percent problems using proportions. So first of all, let's talk about translating to proportions and how that works. So remember, a percent is simply a ratio of some number to 100. 6% is the ratio of 6 divided by 100. It turns out, for example, that 9,660,000 and 161 million has the same ratio as 6 and 100. So to solve a percent problem using proportions, using a proportion, we translate as follows. The number n is in the numerator divided by 100 equals a, the amount, and b, the base. And this will make a lot more sense when we look at some actual examples, which we'll be doing here in just a moment. So n is a number divided by 100 equals a, the amount, divided by b, the base. Exercise number 1, 12% of 50 is what? So 12% is 12 divided by 100 is a to 50. Similarly, what is 40% of 60? Again, it's 40%, 40 divided by 100 is equal to a to 60. And for number 3, 130% of 72 is what? 130 divided by 100, or 130%, equals a divided by 72. And similarly, number 4, 45 is 20% of what? So 20% is 20 divided by 100. So that's equal to 45 divided by some letter, let's call it B. And then number 5, 120% is 120 divided by 100. 120% equals 60 divided by B. Where B again stands for the base. So 45 is 20% of what? 20%, 20 divided by 100 equals 45 divided by B. And then 120% of what is 60? 120% is 120 divided by 100 equals 60 divided by B. In number 16, we ask 16 is what percent of 40? So what percent is n divided by 100 as 16 is to 40? Similarly, number 7, what percent of 84 is 10.5? So we have n for what percent, n divided by 100 equals 10.5 to 84. So let's apply this method to the guided solution number 8. Solve the following. 20% of what is $45? So 20% would be 20 divided by 100 equals 45 divided by B, our base. So we multiply both sides by 100, we cross multiply. So we have 20 times b is 20b, and then 100 times 45. And then we divide both sides by 20 to isolate b. So on the right side we have 100 times 45 divided by 20. So now the 20's cancel on the left side, we only have b, and on the right side we have 100 times 45 is 4,500 divided by 20. So then b is equal to $225. In the guided solution for number 9, we asked 64% of 55 is what? So we set up the proportion 64%, 64 divided by 100 equals A divided by 55. We solve this proportion by cross multiplying. So we multiply 64 times 55. 64 times 55 equals 100 times A. To isolate A, we divide both sides by 100. So on the left side we divide by 100, on the right side we divide by 100. And so that means we now have 3,250. No, 3,520 rather. 3,520 divided by 100 is equal to A. Since the hundreds cancel, we isolated A. And by dividing by 100, A is equal to 35.2. We solve number 10 in a similar way. So 12% is 12 divided by 100, and that's equal to A divided by 50, by A is some number. We cross multiply, 12 times 50 equals 100 times A. 12 times 50 is 600. And to isolate A, we divide both sides by 100. Then on the left side we get 6. And on the right side the 100s cancel. So A is equal to 6. So here the answer is 6. So number 11 is very similar. Here we write it as 120%. That's 120 divided by 100 is equal to 60 divided by A, or B rather, since it's base. So we cross multiply 120B equals 100 times 60, and then we divide both sides by 120 to isolate B. So B is equal to 100 times 60 divided by 120. So that is equal to 6,000 divided by 120. So in other words, B is equal to 50. So 60 of 120 of what? So the answer is 50. For number 12, we have another guided solution. $12 is what percent of $40? So 12 to 40 is equal to n to 100. We cross multiply. 12 times 100 equals 40 times n. So now we divide both sides by 40 to isolate n. So divided by 40. So we have 1,200 divided by 40 is equal to n, and 1,200 divided by 40 is 30, so n equals 30. Thus, $12 is 30% of 40. So number 13, what percent of 84 is 10.5? So we set the equation up as n divided by 100 is equal to 10.5 to 84. We cross multiply, so we have 84n equals 100 times 10.5. So n is then equal to 100 times 10.5 divided by 84. We divide both sides by 84 to isolate n. So that's equal to 1,050 divided by 84. That means n is equal to 12.5% or 12.5%. So we can write the answer here as 12.5% or 12.5%. And again, these exercises that I showed you here may not be enough for you to practice, get good at this. But again, the book has many possibilities to learn this, to set up the This is the end of section 6.4.